guys, this is your Uncle Big Fish, and on this video we're going to be discussing the Woosa and how godly this class is. Now first I want to talk a couple things about her skills, and we'll start from the very first one, being one of your main stab. This is going to be your first super tier attack power, or your stab, or your highest damage skill, being Wing Beat. Has a 6-second cooldown, 2 hits, and it's got a very high base power. Luckily, I do have full level 10 on this one, so we don't need to do a lot of crazy calculations. We can just add up the numbers, yeah? So, this skill in hindsight has 528.8% damage, and that thing hits 3 times on each swing. So, it does that and one more, yeah? 2 hits in total. And each of them deals 3 consecutive hits individually on each swing, giving this a total of 6 instances of damage. Now, the first hit deals 1586, and you can multiply this by 2. This will give you the base power of the skill, being 3172%. This is the base power of the skill, 3.1k, or a lot closer to 3.2k. Very high base power. It has a slow of 25%, which is a super high slow, especially on a very broken class. So slows do depreciate in value, and it has a soft cap of 30, but 25 is a very respectable number. You really slow people down once you get hit by 25%. You're very slow. Alright, it also increases your attack, so in the same way you're actually getting more, you're actually becoming a lot stronger because you increase your attack while you have this. Next will be the skill Stormfall. Now this will be your main stab. This is actually your highest damage skill. This has the base power of 218.07. and you can multiply this by 36, making this a 7,850% damage skill. However, it's not just that. This thing actually has it's more like a sub effect. You can actually keep the Stormfall while you're using other skills, and this will only give you 50% of damage of Stormfall, making this effectively a 3,900% damage skill, which is still a very high number, very painful. Yeah, this skill is very painful. It has a very high base power. It is also further boosted by, of course, your all. It has increased DP, so you're a lot tankier, and you actually reduce an enemy's HP. So effectively, this alone is a plus 80 DP, because you decrease an enemy's attack by 40 and you increase your own by 40. So essentially it's like giving yourself 80 defense pretty much, which is a super big deal, especially in the arenas. It's a big deal. Next will be Cloud Curve. This is pretty much your one of your filler skills, I would say. It might not look like it, but it actually has a pretty decent base power. Yeah, it has a base power of around 700 times 2, so 1400%. It has an attack speed slow of 30, so that's a soft cap, and movement speed slow of 50, that's an over cap. So it only lasts for 4 seconds, but it is still a very big deal. But what I want to talk about this is actually the sub effect. And this, what it does is, once you hit someone twice, it will trigger a forced displacement of the enemy. The enemy will be teleported back to where you cast it from after 3.5 seconds, and this cancels even immunity skills. It cancels forward guard previously during the first launch. It did not affect SA when the class first launched, but after the buff/nerfs, the rebalance of the class around a week and a half ago, it actually changes. So now this actually pierces through super armor, and it's absolutely broken. The skill is very broken. It has a very high range. How much range? about 2/5, around 2.5 out of 4 arena range. So a little bit over half of the arena range. Very, very high range, yeah, the skill. It's very, very good. It also has a base negative 25% movement speed. So it's actually pretty good even without the added effect of the 30% attack speed slow and movement speed slow. It's already got a base attack speed and movement speed debuff. It also has Seret, so you can use this on Seret. I recommend using Seret because the skill's base power is already low, so putting crit on it, crit chance is not really, it's pretty redundant. Putting Seret is going to be a better option for that one. Next will be Segundo Pump. Now this is your main skill. Alright, this is your main damage skill, and also your healing skill. Now what does this thing do? What this does is, this thing has a pretty good base power. I'll just calculate this for you guys real quick. It's 480, and you're gonna multiply this 480, we'll call it 480, it's closer to 481. You multiply this by 4, so the base power of the skill is around 1900. So by all means, the skill might not look like it's a lot. However, there is a niche with that one, yeah? And it has an additional effect. It deals 1.5% of the target's max HP damage on hit. Pretty much same, it's like a reverse Seret. So you take away 1.5% in the enemy's health instead of actually doing the other part. I am using all on this one, but you can go for A-hip for more of the juicy damage. You can go A-hip on this one. It's perfectly fine. You can go any of them. Both are really, really good. It has a burn on hit and also heal. Now, how much healing does this have? 1000. So this thing heals 1000 HP per cast. 6-second cooldown. Very, very high base power due to a couple things, which I will explain in just a little bit. Next would be Segundo Orchid. This is pretty much a farming skill. However, there are some niches where you can use this for arenas. This does have a negative crit chance, so an enemy has no crit chance, or less likely to crit. Now, for those that are pretty new into the game and you don't know how much value a crit is, about 60% of your total damage output is the work of crits. And that is why when you don't crit as much, you deal very little damage, and we call that a low roll. A low roll is basically a roll of combo or damage that does not have a lot of crit or not having any at all. That is called a low roll, and that is why the damage of a high roll and a low roll is very different. How different? Sometimes you can deal almost double the damage you usually do, and that's pretty much what it does. Now, imagine you're a very tanky class and you can also decrease an enemy's crit chance. It makes people more likely to not crit, so further making you much tankier. This by itself is a method of damage reduction that people tend to look down upon. Not really look down upon, it's more like people underestimate. People underestimate crit chance reduction very grossly. Yeah? People don't know the value of this thing. I myself go for a crit chance reduction imprint. If you see there, I'm going for a crit chance reduction on this one. So I'm actually able to get more tanky. And I also have this one, HP recovery. So I reduce an enemy's HP recovery. And the last one being also crit chance, giving me a total of 30% imprint on the critical hit chance reduction. I feel like it is a pretty good imprint on, especially for Black Sun, especially if you're against higher CPs. It really shines in value there for sure. Next will be Segundo Croissant. This skill is very, very strong. This thing comes out very quickly. It has a very, very high base power. If you look at this thing has a branch, and it has a base power of 644. Let's call it 645. Multiply that by 4. So this thing has a base power of 2.6k%. Now, this thing has a very, very high base power, and it also comes out very quickly. You can pretty much go deal somewhere around 5,200% damage in just half a second. It's absolutely broken. Yeah, very, very broken stuff. It has the Brave's imprint as well, which enables you to crit a lot more often. and also this thing decreases an enemy's DP, so it makes an enemy a lot more soft, and it makes you more capable of dealing a lot of damage. Plus you increase your attack as well, so this actually essentially gives you 80 AP. This is broken, like absolutely broken, yeah? Especially for arenas, it's very, very broken stuff. This thing is pretty much, yeah, defensive, offensive. Now, this one is going to be Butterfly Step. This is pretty much your mobility skill or so. It has no immunities in the arenas, so there's not really any use in using this for arenas, to be honest. Not really any use whatsoever. I don't think I was ever in a position where I need to use this skill, hence why I don't use it for my arena set. Yeah, it has a pure iframe, that's it. Next will be Stormfall. This is going to be one of the best forward guard skills in the game. This skill by itself is a forward guard skill, plus it also has anti-grab, and it also breaks forward guard. And so this is pretty much a 3-in-1. It's a forward guard, it also it has a forward guard, it has an iframe, it has a super armor, it breaks forward guard, and it has anti-grab. So this skill is pretty much perfect. Like if you look at this, so you'll go into a defensive stance and you will do that. And when you teleport, you have an iframe, as you see here, and it turns into a super armor when you arrive. So forward guard, iframe, super armor, yeah? This thing does have immunities in arenas. Forward guard can be lingered for about 4 seconds. About 3 seconds, sorry about that. About 3 seconds, and if you don't end up pressing it, it will just stop. I'll just show you what it looks like real quick. Give me a second. I'll just go to open arenas and show you here. Wait, sorry, I just need to refresh the frame a little bit because it's getting a bit, my phone's a bit hot. Very sorry about that. Alright, I'll just show you here what it looks like. Alright, this is gonna be what it looks like. If you don't press anything, if you don't press it again, it will just stop, like so. If you press it again at any time within the 3-second mark, you will do this, okay? And while traveling, you have iframe, and when you arrive, it turns to a super armor. Blue, red, yellow, alright? This thing breaks forward guard as well. And those lightning bolts around that you see, yeah, that one, those lightning bolts do carry CC. So this thing has a delayed and an instant CC. When you teleport, you instantly have a daze, and if an enemy somehow stays in the vicinity of those lightning, they will take damage as well, and also will get CC. So say you missed it, an enemy dodges behind you, and they get hit by lightning, they'll get CC. So this class have a lot of continuous CC, passive CC, you could say. This has a daze on first hit, and if you actually half cast it, it's a bit delayed, so you can actually do this. You see there? The casting of the tornado is delayed, so you can actually delay the CC, you can run away, and when an enemy goes into that, they got dazed during the windup, and it has a knockdown on last hit. This is actually one of the reasons why people are really, really scared of comboing you, because they might get caught by the tornado, and it really, really has a hard punish, yeah? This class's damage is extremely high, I'm not kidding, it's absolutely bonkers. I think this class might have the highest, one of the highest combo damage in the game. This class is currently ranked number 2 highest damage combo in the game, staggering around 54,000. That is only second higher than the Warlord's high roll at 56,000. So this is an absolutely broken shit, yeah, very, very broken stuff. That'll be on a risky combo, by the way. And I do calculate that with a high roll. Alright, next will be what the Stormfall does. This thing has an anti-grab on a whole duration. You take 40% less damage during the skill. It has a daze and whatever I just said. But I think what most people don't seem to understand is this skill has a very broken damage. If you look at what it does, it has 901% damage base power. We'll call that 902. It's a lot closer to 902. And you multiply that by 6, this skill is effectively a 5,400% damage skill. It's absolutely broken. That's broken shit. Especially with the cooldown of only 7 seconds. Absolutely ballsack. Yeah, this thing is ballsack. Like absolutely ballsack. it's super broken. The skill is very broken, and I think one of the things that they must do is to nerf the skill somehow. This thing does give you increased DP as well, and also decreased attack speed. So this class have decreased attack speed, decreased movement speed, decreased crit chance. It's very tanky. It gets like 80 DP on like 2 skills. Yeah, this thing is pretty much 80 DP. Like effectively gives you like 80 DP. This thing gives you 40, and then it gives you like this skill alone gives you like 80 AP. It's absolutely broken. Yeah, this class's damage is extremely high. It's very bulky. The super armor of the skill heals a lot. This is a lot of healing. 1,000 is a lot of heal. And also it's got a lot of different, it's got perfect coverage. Also, it has attack speed and movement speed slow, so you further reduce an enemy's damage output. Absolutely broken stuff. Next will be the skill Bamboo, Segundo Bamboo. This is going to be your main opening skill. 2 hits, and it deals a stun. This, for simply an opening skill, this skill does a grossly high amounts of damage. This thing deals 547% times 2 per instances of hits. So if it hits twice, it's pretty much a 2,200% damage skill, and it's only an opening skill. You see there, it's very spammable. 2,000. It's got 2.2k damage with 5-second cooldown, and the price of this skill is you can actually stall it for how long? For about 3 seconds or 4. Yeah, I think it's a lot closer to 3.5 seconds. So if you look at the meter of the cooldown, you can stall it until about 9 o'clock. Yeah, so you can do this. You can wait a little bit, and then sorry about that. I overstalled. Go like this. You see there, yeah. This thing can buy off. You can probably like stall it up to maybe around 7 o'clock, around that on the cooldown meter, about 7 o'clock. Yeah, it's a very long stall. You can literally do this if you want to. Like, I've seen a lot of people start to do this a lot. They will just use bamboo once, and then they will do nothing, and then they will press it again, and then they would start the combo all over again, because by then the cooldown it's already off cooldown. So you can actually do this. Alright, just wait a little bit. You go back, have some skills, and by the time you use one skill, the bamboo is already off cooldown. Now that is also one of the things that you can do with this class. This is one of the prizes of this class, to be honest. Yeah, very broken. This thing also breaks forward guard. So the way this class's CC works is like so. You can actually target where you want to move, but I'll show you a trick. All right. So this is a bit of a trick to break forward guard. So this is what I do. Say like this tree over here in front of me is a forward guard casting class. What I can do is I can use bamboo forwards, and I will let go of my analog, and so I will actually hit them from behind. Like you see there, I'm facing the other way, right? That's what you can do. You can actually do this. You see there? I hit them from behind, so I go towards the side, and I will hit them from the side. That actually works. So it's actually quite insane. You see there? The direction is actually where you're going, and it will attack from that direction. So what you can do is this. Say like I want to hit someone from the side. What I can do is I can analog this to the right or to the left of the enemy, and I will just let go of the analog. So what this is what I will do. You see there? I will hit them from the side, right? And I can do that and hit them from the other side. This is one of those niches that, like those small niches that people don't seem to understand why this thing is very broken, because this enables a lot of very high outplay. And I think that this class alone with its kit is already broken enough. This wasn't necessary at all. It's absolutely unnecessary. It's an overkill. This class is an overkill. It's too strong. It's too strong. Like, how strong is this class? This class makes even god tier class look like shit. That's how fucking strong this class is. Alright, next will be Cloud Rise. This is pretty much one of your opening skills as well. This thing has a daze on the second hit. Very long range. It does create a thundercloud. The thundercloud deals around 77% damage per hit. And this thing hits 9 times in total, so it has a 300 base power, 295. Let me just calculate that real quick. 295 times 8, so about 2.3k. It's not a lot, and it gives you another 77%, so about 2.4k, yeah? However, what it does is, you are much better off using other skills, because other skills have more base power, and they come up much quicker. This thing hits twice, so you might want to just use other skills. I don't recommend using the skill, because it has no immunities in the arenas, nor in field. But this thing gives you crit chance, and also decreases an enemy's DP, making them softer as well. So at some niches you may use this thing, but I don't really use it because, like, the difference between Cloud Rise and Cloud Carve is not very different. They both serve the same purpose. They're both a long range opening skill for arenas. However, Cloud Carve have this niche of having the slows and the force displacement, while Cloud Rise doesn't. And that's why I'm using the Cloud Carve instead. Butterfly's Dream is just a normal healing. It's just a normal healing attack and evasion cooldown. This thing actually heals a decent amount. It heals about 1000 HP, so it's actually quite a bit, yeah. So yeah, and next let's talk about the passive. Now, what does this passive do? The passive is called Enlightened, and this thing stacks indefinitely. This thing stacks up to 4 stacks, and it lasts forever. This thing has a constant uptime. It will never go on cooldown. Like, as long as you're casting at least one skill every 20 seconds, you will keep the passive uptime. This thing will never ever expire unless you don't cast anything for 20 seconds, which is very unlikely. So, skill damage plus 6%, and it stacks up to 4 times. So this thing essentially has a 24% skill damage amp, or a 24% spell amp. This thing does have a 20% damage reduction, and it enhances Wing Beat, Segundo, Plum, and Cloud Rise at full stacks. And for its sub effect, it applies Boundless Vessel. What is Boundless Vessel? Consider Boundless Vessel like a bomb, alright? And whenever she takes damage every 2 seconds, it will stack up till 5 times. And once you have 5 stacks, once you use a skill, it will give that skill 1000 fixed damage as a bonus damage. That's literally what it does. So this class gets 1000 fixed damage every time it takes damage over the span of 10 seconds. That's literally all this does. It's not a lot, yeah. 1000 base power is not a lot. It's not 1000%. It's just 1000 fixed damage. Sorry, I'm getting really sleepy just talking about this class, yeah. Alright, I think that's gonna be about it for this class. If you guys want some combos, I can give you some combos. A lot of people might be telling me, why are you teaching people how to play Woosa? I think that over the past 2.5 years of content creating, I think the biggest impact that I've had in this community and how I actually affected how people balance stuff is to actually teach them how to play it. And once I teach people how to play it, people will get better using the class, and they'll really destroy every other class with the class, and the win rate will start to get really fat. And once their win rate skyrockets, PA goes, what the fuck is going on? And once that happens, they'll probably nerf the class. So I have thought about this a lot of different ways. I've thought about people telling me and how I used to think, Uncle Big Fish, why are you teaching people how to play a broken class? Well, that is pretty much the most efficient and the most likely way to get the class nerfed. This works in the past, so it probably will work again now. The moment I taught people how to do the Kunoichi, I blew out the win rate. She gets nerfed. Same goes for the other ones. So I do think that this by itself is one of those ways that I can contribute to the community by, well, trying to get this class nerfed. If you want a combo for this class, I can give you 2. Both are my original combos. Both deal very high damage, and I will give you one more risky combo. The first one will be the very basic combo. This is the most safest combo if I may be so bold. It deals quite high damage by itself, even though it's a safe combo. It deals pretty good damage, it's safe, and it doesn't really use a lot of immunity skills. How do you do it? Pretty simple. You're just gonna go bamboo, so a stun, into a daze with your Stormfall. Will be follow up with 2 of these, 2 plums into a wing beat. Or what you can do instead is this. You can actually go from bamboo to Stormfall into plum once, into wing beat twice, and then you can use some other skill, like you can use cloud carve and end the last hit with your plum. So let me just repeat that one more time. This is what it does. This is the simple combo. You can go like so, alright, go like that, and there you go. Okay, let me just say it one more time. It's gonna be bamboo, Stormfall, plum, wing beat 2 hits, cloud carve 2 hits, and then plum. This is the first combo. Okay, very, very short combo. It's pretty simple to do. The second one will be a decent. It'll be a little bit of a markup from the last combo. So the way it works is like so. You're gonna go bamboo into Stormfall, and then you're gonna cast plum once, and then you're gonna cast croissant twice into wing beat into plum. That's pretty much the second combo. This thing deals significantly more damage than the first one, but it does have a little bit of risk. But it is still pretty safe, I would say. Now the last one will be my own original combo. This is my original high damage combo. This one will one-shot. What it can one-shot? Pretty much anything aside from GM. And I will give you after this a combo that can kill a GM in one shot with a high roll, of course. So first, this is what you will do. You use bamboo into Stormfall. You storm hold, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna use plum once, and then you're gonna use croissant twice, into wing beat once, into plum once, into wing beat, and then into bamboo. That's pretty much what it does. I'll repeat that one more time, just to make sure that you guys understand what I'm doing. All right, bamboo, Stormfall, storm hold, plum. Sorry, give me a second. This person is a bit. Who is this? I don't know who this is. I don't know who that is. It's quite. Why is this person following me? All right, this what you're gonna do. All right, bamboo, Stormfall, storm hold, plum, croissant, wing beat, plum, wing beat into bamboo. That's pretty much the risky combo. Yeah, this thing deals very, very high damage. It will one shot pretty much anything aside from Mystic, Warlord, and GM. On a high roll, it will one shot any other class aside from those three. And I will now give you a separate combo. This one will have the ability to one shot even GM and Warlord and Mystic. This will be a boosted combo using Orchid. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna go bamboo into Stormfall, into Stormhold, into plum, into Orchid, into croissant twice, into wing beat, into plum, into wing beat, into bamboo. That's pretty much what you do. This thing is very, very painful. This thing has a staggering damage of 54,000 at max roll. Very, very high damage. Yeah. You need 1 AHIP proc to make sure that the GM dies. You need like 5 crits and 1 AHIP proc for it to kill a GM in one shot from full HP. I will repeat that one more time, a lot more quickly. Bamboo, Stormfall, Stormhold, plum, Orchid, croissant, wing beat, plum, croissant, and then you can use bamboo. That's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. All right, very, very simple. High damage. Is it risky? Yes, it's pretty risky, but is it super risky? No. It's pretty easy to do with just enough practice. You will be able to do this constantly without problems. Very, very broken shit. All right. I think that's gonna be about it for the section of this class. If you're looking for a more of a, I think it's if you're looking for an arena skill set, this will be my skill set. This one will be the first skill set. This one's going to be for field. And the last one on number 3 will be for farming. This is pretty much the farming set that I'm currently using. I feel like using plum is a good thing, but you can actually remove the plum and you can just use 2 skills. That's pretty fine. But I like having the plum there because it gives you a bit of healing. So yeah, it's just a lot more constant. It feels like it has some uses, and that's why I use the plum there, just in case. But you can make do with just 2 skills. All right. Thank you to Evalorian from the North American server for letting me know this farming skill set and stuff. Notable mentions, if you guys are looking for some Woosa content, probably Ryujin Jakka is very, very into Woosa, and he's been playing the class without Stormfall. Don't know what the point is. The class is fucking broken even without it. If anyone's looking for Woosa content, yeah, you can go check Ryujin Jakka or maybe Enel. Yeah, that's gonna be about it from me. We're gonna do Woosa. I'll show you guys a short arena clip. Sorry to say, this class bores the living shit out of me. All right. So I think I clipped like 6 minutes or so. I'm not quite sure. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry, I'm just getting bored of just talking about this class. This class is absolutely broken, and I'm gonna CC as soon as Paladin buff arrives. Enjoy the arena clips, and I'll see you guys again in the next time. See ya. Bye.